preaching time now. We never go down to preaching, but always up. God says that the grass withereth and the flower fadeth. The Lord's word stands forever.
Amen.
It'll never die.
Amen.
It'll never give out. It's an eternal word with eternal privileges, with eternal security. And we have an eternal place to go.
Amen.
That's in his word. Amen. If you have your Bibles, we're going to look at Hebrews, the 10th chapter. We'll begin in verse 19. We started on last week talking about church growth. And we're still on that same page, amen. That's Hebrews, the 10th chapter. And beginning at verse 19. I'll usually read out of the King James Version. Today I'll be reading out of the NIV just for some clarity's sake. You have to say amen.
Amen.
Just to wait, say wait. We'll do just that. Be Hebrews, the 10th chapter. Beginning in verse 19. It reads, "Therefore, brothers, since we have confidence to enter the most holy place by the blood of Jesus, by a new and living way open for us through the curtain that is his body. And since we have a great priest over the house of God, let us draw near to God with a sincere heart, in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled to cleanse us from a guilty conscience, and having our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." You may be seated. We talked about the mind. We talked about the heart. And now we're talking about church growth. Many people think when you talk about church growth that you're talking about numbers. That comes because we preached on last week about from the Great Commission that we have an assignment. But can I tell you that if on any of these other seats fill up, does not mean we're not growing.
Amen.
Because growth comes from the inside
Amen.
out.
Amen. Sir.
If you notice that whenever you plant something, you don't put it on top of the ground. You put it in the ground. And you cover it, Raven, with dirt. And although you can't see it, underneath the surface is growing.
Yes.
Mama, is already growing even before you see it break through the ground. And sometimes it takes time, Miss Collins, for it to break through because it needs to get some strong roots.
Amen.
That's what church growth is that we want to be some strong roots. And before we break out, God will make sure that we are strong.
Yes.
I didn't say perfect.
All right.
Strong.
Yes.
I didn't say have everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Strong. I didn't say that we wouldn't make mistakes. I said strong.
Amen.
And so on today, we preached on last week that we have an assignment. On today, I want to preach about I have an assembly to attend.
Amen.
Because in the King James Version it say, forsake not the assembly of yourselves together, as some are in the habit of doing.
Like
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was, and what provoked this, I was reading, I think I was on, had to be Facebook, because that's really the only social media that I go on. But I was reading something that the singer Tweet had put out there. And some of us might be familiar with her music. But I know that she was supposedly engaged to a well-known pastor, if you will. His name is Jamal Bryant. But and how she was going on to say that she's not doing church anymore. She was saying that she still loved God, but she was through with church. She does not stand alone, because you have many that say that I don't want to do church anymore.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that Jesus is coming back for the church.
Yeah.
I thought somebody would talk to me.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
That's what he's coming back for. And it's hard because although you can say, and it's very possible, Ms. Cullins, to have a relationship with God and never come to church anymore. But still, we're in error.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because we see it right here. I just read it to you. It says, forsake not. It's important. It's vital. It's essential. The problem, Deja, why many of the people that have read and say they are done with church is because they have been hurt in the church.
Yes.
One thing I understand, Abby, is that hurt people hurt people.
Amen. That's true.
And if you don't give your hurt over to the Lord, you'll end up hurting someone else.
Yes. Yes.
What we have to understand is that the church is full of hurt people. The church is full of people that are sick and trying to get well.
Yes.
And we can't expect for everything to go perfect
Yeah.
in church.
Amen.
The funny thing, Raven, is that people like to use excuses.
Yes.
Because many of us have been to the clubs, Many times we had to duck our way out because some fool
Amen.
started acting a fool.
Amen.
But notice that nobody said, I ain't going to the club no more. I'm done with the club.
Yeah.
Amen. That's true.
Many of us go on jobs and under dangerous conditions or unhealthy conditions. And not once have we said, I ain't doing the job no more.
That's right. Amen.
But when it comes to church, when somebody brushes up against us, when somebody says something we don't like, y'all ain't in here,
Yes.
then we can say, I'm done with church.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you this intro, and my intro might be longer than my outro. But he's writing to the Hebrews. My pastor always taught me, when you see therefore, see what is there for. I just got through reading to you in verse 19. It says, therefore. And so that means, John, that I got to go back up to the other verses.
All right.
Because when he uses therefore, it's predicated on something that has previously been discussed or said. I told you sometimes you have to read the Bible slow. Don't run over the words and all that, because every word, every letter, every comma, every period, it means something in the Bible. What he is discussing with them is that you do know that Christianity came out of Judaism. And now that Christianity is on the scene, many are considering going back to Judaism. In Judaism, Deja, they had to sacrifice animals to cover sin. And now Jesus has come and is the ultimate sacrifice. We don't need to sacrifice any animals.
Amen.
But someone has gotten in their ear and told them, you got to do this and this. They were trying to go back to the Levitical law. But what I understand is the law ain't never saved anybody.
Amen. Amen.
The law only points out that you're wrong.
Amen.
And the law only points out that you are doing illegal activity. That's all the law does. It's a reminder. It's a hard taskmaster. And it shows you, Jeanette, at all times, you're wrong.
Amen.
Let me see, can I get some help?
All right.
Come here, DJ. Rodney, come help me. Rodney, come help me. And this is what the scripture is talking about. Is, now I'm going to let Roderick represent sin. Right?
Okay.
You're going to be the person. I'm going to be the priest. Show you what the law is. So, you've sinned. Now you got to come to me and confess what you've done. I said, oh, you did what? Oh, I lied. Give me your picture. Now, you stand right there. You can't come behind this veil. Y'all ain't in this house. I got to go behind the veil. Take the blood of the animal and throw it on the mercy seat to atone for DJ lying. Now that you've done that according to the law, you covered. Now, go home. Roger, go with me. You almost made it home. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Roger, whisper in his ear and tell him what you want to do. You sin. His wife just called him on his way home and she vexed his spirit. Now he done cussed her out. You almost made it. Come back. Snatch it off of him, Roger. Snatch that covering off of him. Come on back. Sin, what did he do? Cussed his wife out? Cussed the wife out? That's going to be 2 bulls. Hold on, you stay right there. You can't go behind to God for yourself. Stay right there. You go behind this veil. Let me throw this blood on the mercy. Sin, you give me that cover. It's done. You covered. You covered. Go home. Sin with you. Whisper in his ear, Sin. He want to get drunk. Whisper in his ear. Snatch it off of it. Come back, DJ. You almost made it. What did he do, Sin? He got drunk. You get drunk? That's going to be 1 lamb. You stay right there. You can't go behind him and talk to God for yourself. I got to talk to him first. Let me take this blood. You can't see what I'm doing over here. I'm throwing it on the mercy seat to cover for your drunkenness. Sin, give me that.
My Lord.
You covered. Go home. Sin, go with him. Whisper in his ear, saying, oh, he saw a lady he liked. Snatch it off of him. Come on back. I know you didn't sleep with her, but you slept with her in your mind. What did he do, Sin? What you did? You lust in your heart about other women? That's going to be a bull and a lamb. You can't go with me. You can't talk to God for yourself. I got to do it for you. You go behind the veil. Let me put this blood on the mercy seat. Sin, give me that. You covered. Go home. Stop right there. Snatch it off of him, Sin. He was born and shaped in iniquity.
Yes.
Now, that was under the law. Now, there's a lot of things going on with that. He's going back and forth. He's going back and forth. I'm going back and forth. Read the text. All you got to do is read them first. I want y'all to read them when you go home. The priests are working every day.
Yeah.
Because, all these people are sinning all the time.
Yeah.
And all the animal sacrifices can do, Jerry, is cover his sin. It never took it away.
Yeah.
So it says that, Mama, that law, that was only temporary sacrifices.
Amen. Yeah.
It was look at verse 1. It was a shadow of what was to come.
Yes.
But now
Jesus. Yeah.
we have the image.
Yeah.
The image is different, Antoine, than the shadow.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Well, what is the image? It's the incarnate of God.
My mind.
Incarnate means to put on flesh.
Yeah.
God said, I'm going to put on flesh.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to be the ultimate sacrifice. Y'all in here?
Yeah.
Now let me show you the difference between this priest. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Saying you got his sandals, you got his covering, you can took his covering. Here's the difference. This time is I'm gonna take this. Saying you got to go.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Now you think this is what you want. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to truly do. I'm going to cover you.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to take this heart out.
All right. Jesus.
I'm going to take this mind out.
All right.
Because that's what's really going on.
Yeah.
It's not the outside things in your mind and in your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem, man. It ain't the women gyrating around. It ain't that we got ABC stores on every corner. That ain't the problem. It's in man's heart and mind.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Give me this heart.
My Jesus.
Give me this mind.
Yes.
And then I'm going to give you a new heart.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
I'm going to give you a new mind.
Yes.
Because this high priest right here is the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes, it is. Amen.
And it says in the scripture, right, that when he died, that veil that those other priests were going behind was rent not from bottom to top, but from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because man couldn't do it.
All right.
Now guess what this time? You got a new mind. You got a new heart.
Thank you.
Well, you're looking pretty good. You covered. And guess what? This time, you take my hand.
Yeah. Walk. Say that.
The veil gone, baby. You can go to God for yourself. Go ahead. And guess what? We going on a new path. You ain't going home ain't that way no more.
All right.
Come on. You got a new home.
Glory to God.
Now watch this. And guess what this priest does? Sits down.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
You know why he sits down? Because it is finished.
Amen.
His work is done.
Yeah.
It only took one sacrifice.
Yes.
It's over with.
Yeah.
Are y'all in here?
Amen.
And that's my intro. That's what he's dealing with. He says now, I had to address that because some of y'all want to go back.
My Lord.
And he said, if you go back and start sacrificing animals, it's as if you trampled God's body and his blood, that it doesn't mean anything to you. See, a lot of people think that he's talking about sin right there, Mama. That's not what he's talking about right there. What he's talking about is those people returning back to try to offer other sacrifices. And here's Jesus saying, listen, I'm the ultimate sacrifice. Only really my blood can save you.
Yeah.
Amen.
And so if you go back and start trying to follow the law, you said that what I did on Calvary didn't mean anything.
Amen. Amen.
He said, and if you do that, then there is no sacrifice for you.
My Jesus.
It's in the text. I'm going to give you these 3 points and I'm going home. Hopefully we'll eat some chicken or something. He says, now that you know all that,
Yes. Lord.
he says, I need y'all to persevere. He's talking to the church now. Here's the first thing. He says, you have now the confidence to enter.
Yes.
It's right there. Therefore, brothers, since we have confidence to enter the most holy place, you can go to God for yourself.
Amen.
Y'all don't know where to shout.
Amen. Amen.
Let me tell you this, so you can't. Let me help you build your shout. This is why you need to shout about that, because we were enemies
Yes.
of God.
Yes. Yes.
See, a lot of people, the Lord saved me from Satan. No, He saved you from God and His wrath,
Yes.
because unholy things can't stand in front of God. Sin can't dwell in front of God, and God has to kill sin. Y'all in here?
Yeah.
We were enemies with Him, but God said, yet and still, although they're enemy, I'm going to send my only begotten Son, because I love them even though they are wretched, filthy, evil,
My Jesus.
stupid, foolish people.
Yes.
He says, I'm going to send them anyhow.
Yes.
For God so loved the world that He gave
Yeah.
His only begotten Son.
Yeah.
Since Jesus goes to the cross. He went to the cross so you wouldn't have to go to the cross.
Oh, thank you, Father.
Yes, God.
Yes.
He is God. And they didn't kill Him. He gave His life.
Yes, he
He
did.
could have stopped it at any time.
Yes.
Excruciating pain. You ain't never been through that kind of pain. I've had some pains. But to be whooped
Yes.
all day
Yeah.
to where they whoop your skin
My Jesus.
off your body. Drunk guards kicking you, beating you. Take your facial hair, not shave it, yank it out your face.
Jesus.
Punching you, taking their nasty saliva,
Yes.
spitting on you.
Jesus.
Take thorns and try to mark you and make a crown out of it and mash it into your temples.
Jesus.
And he's already exhausted.
Yeah.
Yes.
They done whooped him. Man, I understand that. That's some excruciating physical pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, see, some folks, they had a chance and they chose Barabbas. Y'all got to read the Bible.
Yes.
Pontius Pilate said, listen, now, for we have a right to release somebody. Don't y'all want to release Jesus? They said, no. Release Barabbas. Barabbas was a fool. He was doing all kind of wickedness. They knew this man was wicked. But they said, crucify Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, although he has excruciating physical pain, what you think it feels like for those that you have helped,
Yes.
healed,
Yes.
Yeah.
to turn their backs on you and say crucify?
Yeah.
Not only that, let's go a little bit deeper. These are the people, because Jesus is God.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the people that He has created.
Yeah.
Created them, came down on earth to save them, healed them. Some are blind eyes, some couldn't walk, and now you're yelling, crucify me. What did I do? See, a lot of us have done good and people spoke evil of our good.
Yeah. Amen.
But look at Jesus, who has done no wrong,
Yeah.
ever. Never even considered mama to do any wrong. And hear people saying crucify, kill him, take him to the cross. Under excruciating pain. Then make a spectacle. Y'all didn't take him behind closed doors and try to take his life. Y'all put him out in public to try to embarrass, him. So they give him a cross. Jeanette, in front of everybody. This is the worst death that you could ever face.
Yes.
Now they put him on a very popular public road. The Philadelphia Road. He's going down that. They're spitting, they're kicking him. He's already can't breathe. He's almost half dead already. Y'all know when to shout. You know, Linda, what his motivation was? You.
Amen.
Ray, you know what his motivation was? You know why he kept taking them steps? You.
Lord.
Yes.
You know why he didn't give up? Deja. You.
Yes.
He kept going. Look, I'm already hurt. And what I realized is, look, there's some more pain coming.
My God.
Yeah.
I hadn't even gotten to the worst part of it because I got to climb this hill. And when I get up on this hill, these folks gonna strap me to the cross and take spikes and put them in my wrist.
Jesus.
They're gonna take spikes, mama, and put them in my feet.
Yes.
And then hang me up to where every time I try to take a breath, I gotta try to push myself up. And it hurts every time I breathe. Jerry, he could have stopped it right there. You know why he didn't? Because of you.
Amen.
Now, you know why he kept doing what he was doing? Because of you.
Amen.
Antoine, you know why he kept doing it? Because of you.
Hallelujah, Lord. Thank you, sir. Glory. God. Thank you, Lord.
He kept going.
Thank you, Lord.
Watch this.
God. Thank you, Lord.
He kept going. He's such a good God at it.
Yeah.
That while he was standing up there under all that pain, he was still fixing stuff for folks.
Amen.
Here's a thief on the side of me. He said, Lord, remember me. He said, look, you'll be with me today in paradise. Don't even worry about it. He's still thinking about other folk. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He's still thinking about other folks under all this pain and all this ridicule. He's still he said, then he looks at his earthly mother and said, look here, get hold of John. John, you get hold of her. I'm going to put y'all together. Y'all going to be son and mama. He was thinking about other people.
Ah, glory, God.
Yes. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Lord.
And now that you know that, he says, you got the confidence. Not because your I's dotted, not because your T is crossed.
Yes.
You have the confidence to enter the Holy of Holies through the blood of Jesus
Amen. Amen.
for yourself.
Amen.
Yes. Thank you.
He says now, that's why I don't want you to forsake the assembly, because when we come in here, this is a representation of the Holy of Holies.
Yes.
Now, of course, you ain't got to physically come in here to pray to God. That's not what I'm saying. But this is a representation that when we come together, this is how we approach God together. This is how we worship God together. This is how we help make other folk lie better to get y'all in here together. This is how we save our children together.
Yes. Yes.
He says, forsake not the assembly of yourselves. I'm sitting there, I think I'll bypass church. I don't think I need that. But here you'll go to work.
Yeah.
I know I'm on toes.
Yes.
You'll go to work. Huh?
Yeah.
And them folks at work, yeah, they getting you some wages, but it ain't no eternal wages.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
We'll do everything else.
Yeah.
And I ain't fussing at nobody. I'm telling you how all of us have been. I have done it. He says, you got the confidence to enter. You can go to God for yourself.
Amen.
He says not only that, he says that here's another reason that I have this assembly for you to attend. Not only do you have the confidence to enter, he said, but consider encouraging someone else.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
It's in the text. I ain't making it up. It's there. Let me show it to you. Verse 24. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another. Now, I know this is going to flip a whole lot of folks' theology and thinking. But see, a lot of times, you come to church ain't necessarily got nothing to do with you.
All right. My Lord. My.
It might just help somebody else.
Amen. Amen.
Y'all ain't in there.
Amen.
Because, see, the church has become so selfish. You can listen to the songs. Some of these songs ain't gospel anyway.
No.
But it's about me, I. Well, what happened to Jesus?
Amen.
And if you're going to be like Jesus, you got to help other people.
Amen.
And you don't know what it does when you show up and encourages somebody else.
Amen.
He said, we come together to keep telling one another, keep going.
Amen.
See, this is your fuel. This is your gas. This is how you keep going. This is how you make it through the week.
Amen.
Because you come amongst the believers and worship God together and encourage one another and say, baby, you can keep on going. I done been through what you're going through. And God, y'all ain't in here. God brought me out. God delivered me. Listen here, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I had the gun cocked and everything. But God took it away from me, baby. Don't give up on life just yet, because there's something better that can come.
Yes. Hallelujah, Lord.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
He says, we come to encourage. He said, consider encouraging. Listen, and all of us have been discouraged.
Oh, yes.
And thank God that you have people in your life that'll walk up to you and say, look, you can keep going. I'll take the steps with you. We're going to surround you and pray. We're going to go to God together. Y'all in this house?
Amen.
We're going to keep on going. We're going to get through this together. See, where Satan and sin wants you is you to be alone.
Yeah.
See, that's the first trap. Mama is, look, I ain't finna fool them church, but I ain't finna look at. Folk messed up everywhere.
Yes.
But at least go to the hospital to get better. That just makes sense.
Yes.
And this is God's hospital. Everybody in here coughing. Everybody in here got the flu. Y'all ain't in here. Everybody in here got the mumps. I know you think you got it together. I know you're holy. But look, I'm messed up. And I got to get to the hospital because I need Jesus to work on me.
Yes. Oh, yes.
He says, consider encouraging. Then watch this. He said, and all the more as you see the day approaching. Told you about you had the confidence to enter. Consider encouraging. But then he says, it's coming to an end.
Yes.
It's coming to an end.
Jesus.
The day is approaching.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Thank
I said the day,
Yes.
John, is approaching.
It is.
Yes.
He's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't hear preachers say that too much. He's coming back again.
Yes.
Woo! Y'all know we're in the shout. He's coming. I want y'all to help me close this one out. I don't want too much to ask y'all to do it, but if you don't mind standing on your feet,
Yes.
this is what I want you to do for me. I want you to at least find you 5 or 6 folk that ain't in your vicinity and tell them he's coming. Come on.
Coming.
Find somebody, go tell them he's coming. The Alpha and the Omega. Riding on the cloud. He's coming. He's going to come back again. He's coming back for his church. The Alpha and the Omega. The beginning and the end. Every knee shall bow. Every tongue shall confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. He's coming, Jeanette. Don't you hear him? Riding on the clouds. When the dead in Christ shall rise first. We'll meet them in the air. I want to see Jesus. It's coming to an end. for a night, but joy comes in the morning. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming without a shadow of a doubt. He's coming. As the day approaches, all the more. Ain't no time to tell me I ain't going. Ain't no time to be laying out. It's time, y'all. He's coming. He's coming back for the church that is his bride. I want to be in that number.
Oh, yes.
He's coming back again.
Yes, he is.
I don't care what the government say. I don't care what other folks say. He's coming.
Yes, he is.
You see the day approaching. It's happening. Everything that he said would happen is happening.
Yes, it is.
We got to get ready. We got to go get our babies.
Yeah.
We got to go get some more of our loved ones. He's coming. With all power.
Hallelujah.
Yes, he is.
It's in his hands.
Yes.
That's how he's able to change your mind and your heart.
Yeah.
He's coming. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah. Glory. Hey.
No more
Yeah.
pain. No more sorrow.
Yeah.
No more sickness.
Yes.
No more sin. No more arguments.
All right.
No more killing.
Yeah.
No more suicide.
Yes.
Jesus.
No more paying bills.
Yeah.
No more crying.
Thank you, Lord.
Nothing but happiness and joy.
Hallelujah, Lord. Yeah.
I want to see him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then because I got some folk over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some grandmothers over there.
Yeah.
I got some great aunts over there.
Yeah.
And we get to meet with them.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Lord, Lord,
And we get to worship the Lord
Yeah.
together. Forsake not the assembly of yourselves. Because that's all heaven is. We're going to all be together anyhow.
Yeah.
You might well practice it now.
Yeah.
You can be seated.
Word. Word.
You might well practice it now.
Yeah.
Church ain't nothing but a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
This the dress rehearsal, y'all.
Yes.
And if you don't like prayer, you don't want to go to heaven.
My God.
You don't like shouting, you don't want to go there.
Ah.
If you don't want to hear the word go forth, you don't want to go because they are saying, holy, holy, holy.
Yes.
All day long, they never stop.
My God.
The angels are singing. We'll join in with them. We'll be a heavenly choir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all get to heaven.
Hallelujah.
What a day of rejoicing that will be.
Yes, it is.
Folk that couldn't walk be walking.
My Lord.
Have new bodies. Ain't got to worry about seeing my grandma. Ain't got to worry about seeing my big mama in no bed. And they all right.
Yeah.
They better than all right. He coming. He says, forsake not the assembly of yourselves together. The doors of the church are open.
Amen.
If you have not given your life to the Lord, today would be the most excellent day. The reason why is because tomorrow is not promised.
Amen.